Hello, everyone. My mother of pearl family. How is everyone doing today? Oh my God, the weather in Dubai is really, really nice. It's been raining for the past maybe like 1 hour, so I couldn't really go out for my walk, but I was sitting and just contemplating nature and how beautiful nature is. It's amazing when you look outside and you see how everything like blends together. It's so beautiful. I hope everyone is having a great Monday. Today we're going to be together for almost like 45 minutes to 1 hour, and we're going to be talking about something that is very, very important. We're going to be talking about us, who we are and where we are, and what are the big things that we want to do for ourselves in our lives. So I hope you stick with me till the end, because at the end of this training I also have an invitation for you. So hopefully you stick with me till the end and we'll tell you what this invitation is all about. Before I dig deeper into the subject of understanding who we are and where we are in every season in our life, I want to share with you a story that is not very, very old. It's a story that started in that big year that everybody really tries to avoid talking about, the year of the pandemic. And you know, every time I talk about this year, I feel like I'm watching the movie The Others. I don't know if you've seen this movie, but in this movie, it's always like those we do not speak of. So kind of like this year is that year that we do not speak of. I get it, and I totally understand where people come from when they say they don't want to talk about this year, because this year was a tricky one, to say the least, and it was really a kind of a wake-up call to so many people on so many different levels. And it was also a year of struggle for some people. It was a year of awakening for others. So this year, if like we all sit and think about it, there's always something that we can take out of this year. With all its negativities and with all its, difficulties, this year, that year that we do not speak of, so 2020 basically, and maybe a little bit of 2021, but just considering like from the minute the pandemic started till the minute things starting to get back a little bit to normal, not really normal, because still, I mean, if I dare say, even until today, things are not yet back to like, there's no normal like it used to be before. There's a new normal now. So what I want to talk about today is how this year was a wake-up call year for me, at least. And I have seen a lot of people around me moving from one place to a completely different place only during that year, although that year was really something like that we all had to go through a lot during this year, but also some of us managed to thrive during this year. Some of us managed to elevate during this year. Some of us managed to figure things out during this year. And what I want to tell you is that at the beginning of 2020, I had so much on my plate. I had so much work. It was really, really very busy starting the year. And I thought I really had zero time to breathe, right? And I figured that the whole year was going to be like that, because it was kind of starting on a high note. It was a really good year when it started. Now for me, I have to say it did not become a bad year. It actually stayed a good year. And if I dare say, it even got better. Let me explain. So, at the beginning, I felt something about that year. Like, I had this weird feeling that something was going to happen. I just couldn't put my hand on it. But I had this weird feeling that this year was going to be different. Now, little did I know, obviously, it was very different on so many different levels. To everyone on the globe, it's not just to me, but to me it was really different. But also everybody on Mother Earth got affected by this year. Now, a lot of people unfortunately had to leave us. A lot of people had to become, sad or sorrowful because they left, because they lost people in their lives who were close to them. And a lot of people were really stuck, and they felt like they were really stuck during that year. They couldn't move forward, and they couldn't even, go back to where they were or who they were. So that year was kind of a struggle for a lot of people. And some people, on a business level, a lot of companies made huge profits in that year. A lot of companies really benefited from this year, and they just, took this situation and made it in a way that was good for them and supporting them and elevating them business-wise and economically and even in their profits. But that's on a corporate level. On the individual level, everyone was, if I dare say, overwhelmed. Yes, I think every person at the beginning of the pandemic was really overwhelmed because it was so new. It was, for us, it was such an unknown feeling, such an unknown place to be at, such an unknown, like a zone. What is happening? Nobody had a clue. Not even the people who knew what was happening had a clue. Or maybe they did, but they just did not share it. So the idea is that year came, and it was just like we say in French, like a coup de foudre. So it was like something that was like really like a lightning, right? And it just kind of blew everything out of perspective. Everything became either like more dangerous or scarier or some things that we cannot even cope with. And this is why people became so overwhelmed, and this is why people became so stressed, because it was just such an unknown territory that we were all subjected to. Like, there was nobody who did not get affected. Whether positively or negatively, that's a different story, but every single person living on Mother Earth got affected by that year. Now, why am I telling you all of this? Because some of us, during that year, including myself, managed to somehow figure things out for themselves. Some of us managed to take that year, and instead of being afraid of what's going to happen, instead of letting fear be their guide, instead of letting fear be their kind of support system, which is not really a support system, right? But instead of letting fear be the boss or be the whole surrounding, we, because I'm included, took this year and used it for our own benefit. on a different level that we are usually used to. So for me, at that time, my business got really affected because it's the events business. And obviously, the events business just was completely put on hold, like a major stop, right? So on that level, there was no way for me to be able to figure things out. Even if I wanted to go online and start doing things online, the situation was so big, like bigger than even my own capacity to grasp and understand and even think of a pivot for myself on a business level. So what I did instead, I remembered something that I had started even years before, but somehow got lost in translation. What do I mean by that? And this is mainly the major topic today. You know, when we are living our lives, it is very rarely that we sit and think, like pause and try to understand what is happening in our life or why are things happening in our lives. I don't remember really having done that, like literally just that, before the year of the pandemic. I don't remember ever sitting with myself and really focusing on me, on who I am, on what I want, on, all my desires, all my aspirations for me, for myself, for who I was or am or want to be. Never. Why? Because throughout all my life, I've been living in this kind of like a roller coaster. You live like daily. There is no time to breathe. You wake up in the morning, all you're thinking of are your problems, are your issues, and how you want to sort this out, and how you want to sort that out. You never take a breather, you never stop and think. And then the day goes by, you go to work, you meet people that maybe you like, maybe also you meet people that you don't like. You're driving on the road, someone beeps at you, and then you get frustrated and you get tensed, and then you get excited sometimes, and sometimes you get angry. And it's just, even me talking about it now, and I bet you listening to me would feel like, oh my God, please, I need to breathe. But we never do, or we never did. I mean, today I make it a point for me to breathe. I make it a point for me to stop and think and ask myself those big questions, those questions that will guide me in my life, that will make me understand more who I am, where I am, what I want to be, where I want to be. What do I want to do? Who do I want to serve? Who do I want to be with? Who do I want to allow in my life? Who do I not want to allow in my life? What are the things that I want to do? What are the things that I really shouldn't be doing? And what are the things that are, maybe just are there, but they're kind of wasting my time and wasting my energy? So that year, because it put everything on hold for me from a business perspective, and even not just from a business perspective, even from a movement perspective. Remember, we were on a lockdown. We were not able to leave the house. We were not able to go anywhere outside. So even our motion was completely on hold, was completely stopped. And we had to become very creative. And I think this is the one thing that for me that year, like, revived my creativity. I know I I know I am creative. I know at least I was creative before all of this, busyness and that role that never stops. I remember I used to be very creative, and the pandemic year, when it happened, it reminded me of that fact that, hey, wake up. Remember you used to, draw, you used to love arts. Where did all of this go? You used to love playing music. You wanted to learn playing music. And all of this started coming back to me when we were in the lockdown. And so many other things that happened, not just to me. I can bet you that, I don't want to give statistics because I don't have numbers, but I really have a feeling that the majority of people during this pandemic, it's true that we were under maybe a lot of stress because our livelihood was at question, especially when it came to us, having the means to survive. But a lot of us built during that year very special connections, whether they were with us, as in me connecting with myself, or with the people around us, the people who we have most of the time lost touch with, and the people who have been in our lives somehow, but not in our lives. Does it make sense? Like, for example, I remember during the pandemic year, I became closer to so many people who have been in my life for a long period of time, but because of how our life was being led by either of us, myself or that person or those people, we were all just going in like with the flow, and we were all I don't like the comparison, but I feel it's really very realistic. Many people live their lives like, and I don't want to be offensive, but it's a feeling like we are all just like a herd, and we're just moving. And that shepherd, God knows who that shepherd is, but somebody is leading, and we're just following like a herd, without questioning, without understanding, without really stopping and asking, why are we following? Who are we following? What is it that is leading us? Do we know? Do we even know? Did we ever even question? Like, who's the leader of this herd? But there's this herd that is just going with that flow. No questions asked, no time to spare, just moving forward. And God knows that forward could even be a backwards in many situations. It doesn't, like, if we are following all the time, that doesn't mean that we are going to be, or we are going to the next level, or we are going to that success place that we aspire for. That is if we actually knew that we aspire for a success place. And this is why that year, that break that at least I had, made a huge difference in my life, because I took that time and I took it really to heart to, dig and want to understand everything about me. And it was really a year of nothing but reflection. A year that was I felt like this was a gift year that was given to me on a silver platter, and I was told, okay, Maysoon, this is your time to figure things out for yourself. This is your time to understand really who you are, who do you want to be, where you are right now, whether you're in a good place or in a bad place, and how do you want things to be moving for you, moving forward. This was the year where I was able to understand me. I had always known a lot of things about me. I had always known a lot of things about, you know, my character, my maybe my dreams sometimes, my confidence, my traits, my behaviors. I was already aware of those, yes. But there was like that major part of me that I was clueless about until I took that time and I said, you know, I'm going to use this year to figure me out. And that's exactly what I did. And this is what took me back 2 years before, where I started, you know, working on myself, and I decided, okay, I want to be someone who can help. I want to be someone who can be of service to other people. I want to be able to just share and help and support in any way I can. And then life happened, and everything kind of like went into the closet, you know, or just was kept somewhere where I didn't even see it, and I totally forgot it was even there, until the time came when I was given this chance to take that breather and to take that step backwards and just observe everything about my life and understand everything about my life, and really dig deep in who I am and where I am and where I want to be. Now, what I want to say is that we don't really need to have a pandemic year to decide that it is time for us to know things about us, to dig deeper into our own soul, into our own mind, into our own brain, and understand who we truly are and what we truly are here to do. What is our mission? What is our life purpose? I know it's a big word, right? What is our life purpose? And we think that when we start, you know, questioning and think, what is our life purpose? It's a big question, really big question. And not just a big question, it's a question that will have so many answers and so many different, kind of, how do you call it? Branches. If it's a tree, like this is the tree, my life purpose, and it will branch out in a way that might become overwhelming to some, but it might also be that, you know, space where your mind is completely open, and now you are able and willing to see all the potential that is available for you, all the potential that you can create for yourself, all the potential that is out there and just waiting for you to just tap in. And if we are always living our life like on that autopilot that I always talk about, that like, again, we wake up in the morning and, you know, there's this routine that doesn't stop. It's just an ongoing cycle that never stops. So what I'm thinking is, and what I want to ask you is, do we really need to have like such a drastic situation in, not just in our life? Like, this was a global situation, but a lot of people also go through this when they face a major situation in their own lives. But I'm wondering, really, do we need to wait for such a situation to happen so that we start thinking of us? And when I say us, I mean there are so many ways to start working on you and figuring yourself out. But there's one thing that I want to really stress here, and maybe it's not part of what I want to train today, but I really want to stress this point out, because it's something that, you know, came to me not too long ago, and even lately, I mean, it keeps on popping out, you know, is our love for us. And I remember I actually made a I did a training before that talked only about love, but this is a very major topic. It's a major thing to have and to remember. And that's not just the love, like the general love. That is our love to us. And maybe I dare say our selfish love to ourselves. The truth is, and I discovered this the hard way, believe me, I really discovered this the hard way. I used to be a people pleaser. I used to be someone who would always go out of their way just so that everyone else around me is happy, everyone else around me is satisfied, even if that meant that whatever situation I would be in might hurt me. I didn't care, as long as those other people were happy. So that used to be me. When I started my inner discovery, I realized that for me to actually be really happy, I needed to change that major part in my life, which is that people pleaser character. And really, if you ask about, like, if you ask around about me, people have noticed the difference. It's not that I am not a good person anymore. It's not that I'm not someone who is helpful anymore. But today I know when, I'm more aware of when, where, and how to help without hurting myself. Because I don't have a problem helping. No matter what, no matter where, no matter when. Anymore, if that does not hurt me. But before, because I used to be the people pleaser, I used to do it even if it was something that was bad for me, even if it was something that was hurting me. And when I stopped, and I am pretty sure a lot of you would relate to everything that I'm saying now. A lot of you would be thinking like, oh my God, she's literally talking about me. Like, I do this all the time and I'm still doing it. So my question to you is, do you really need another pandemic to remember to first start by understanding you, by knowing who you are, by loving you? because that love is what will guide you to actually be able to love other people and to support other people. That love for who you are, that love for your divinity, that love for your divine right to be on this planet, that love is what will guide you throughout everything, throughout the ups, throughout the downs, throughout the quarrels, throughout the beautiful situations. This love is what will guide you. And if you don't feel it for yourself, see, that's the trick. If you really don't feel it for you, it's gonna be very difficult for others to feel it for you as well. It's kind of like it works like a magnet. If I have it, I'm gonna be able to attract it. If I don't have it, there's no way I will be able to attract it. And even if it becomes very close, it comes so close to me and then it goes back and then it disappears. So today, when I sit with myself and I remember all these things, I think, oh my God, that year that everybody is afraid, and like not afraid of, because khalas, it's already gone, it's in the past. And talking about the past isn't really like, going to make anything any different right now. But for me, that year, because I sat with myself and because I started asking those big questions, and because I wanted to understand me, that year made a huge difference in my life. And that year made me start so many things that I had totally forgotten about. I knew somewhere deep down in my really in probably the lowest layer of my subconscious mind, I knew that there was something that I am here to do. I knew it. I just did not know what it was. I just couldn't point it out. And this is why during all those years before, and even when I was in my awakening, even when I was doing my inner research, I call it, not even search, it's a research, just researching for the things that already exist, even then I was still doing things because I was lost. What is it that I'm here for? Why am I here? What is my mission? And then the more I went inside, and the wider the spectrum of my research became, the closer I was to my reality, the closer I was to understanding really why I am here. And I have to tell you something. When you do this kind of soul search or research, as I call it, the answers that you start getting are really very interesting and eye-openers. And you become more aware of the things that you had totally removed from your consciousness and you've hidden somewhere. And you start putting different aspirations for yourself in your life, your desires, because now you are more aware. Now you understand who you are even more. Now you understand who you truly are, because we all know who we are. I mean, most of us, right? We know who we are. We know our characters. We know our behaviors. We know our emotions. We know how to, get over something, or we know when we need to stop things, when we can, let go of things. But the big questions are, do we really know, for example, like one of the biggest questions I asked myself is, am I happy? And then when I asked myself this question, I was like, but what is happiness? Like, what is happiness to me? Because happiness is a very, relevant or subjective thing, right? It's a very subjective idea, or it's a very subjective state to be in. What makes you happy doesn't necessarily make me happy. So it's like just a simple question, like, what is it that really pleases me? Like, oh my God, if you're gonna sit and answer this, it might take you days to figure it out, to really remember what pleases you. Because I want to tell you, you actually know. We all know. But because we live our life in like a constant, non-stop roller coaster, non-stop stress, non-stop overwhelm, non-stop, running. It's like we're in a constant race. So because we are in that constant race, we never understand, there's no way for us to remember the things that we already know. Like, obviously, we all know what pleases us, but do we really know it now, to write it down and keep it in front of us and remember it all the time? Or do we want to sit and really think about that question so that we can get that answer? And then, why do you do this? Why do you want that answer even? Because this is how you will be able to identify the real things that you want in your life, the real things that you want to have, the real things that you want to do, so that you can reach that state that you are longing for. For example, happiness in this case. You could be someone who is, what it is that pleases me. It could be, I don't know, it could be maybe someone being charitable, or someone who just wants to give and, be that person who is always giving, who is always, how do I say it? It's not the people pleaser, so that we are, not confused between the two. But it's someone like, what pleases me is to be of service. What pleases me is to help others. For me, this is my pleasure. This is a pleasure for me. It's something that makes me happy. It is something that makes it makes me vibrate so much higher. Some other person would be pleased if, I don't know, if they go and sit in the mountain and just sit in the nature and do nothing but just contemplate nature. This pleases them. This makes them happy. This makes their heart expand because of the happiness and the joy that they live in, just because this is what pleases them. So that question, although it's like a very tiny question, what is it that pleases me? Oh my God, the answers that you will get. Only if you let yourself sit and breathe and take a proper time for you to answer that question. And this is one of the questions that I mentioned today that was going to be part of my training. The other question that you want to ask yourself: where do I want to be? In my life, where do I want to be? Who am I for this life? What's my role? What's my position in this amazing, huge place that we are living in? What is my purpose? What is my role? Who am I? Obviously, if you ask yourself this question, again, it's it's gonna be something that will take a lot of time from you to answer. It's a question that will take a big portion of your time and a big portion of your energy and a big portion of your commitment to yourself, to who you are, to understand what it is that you are here to do. What is your purpose? What is it that your life means? And it's not just to you. Like, this question is kind of more of, where do I fit in the game? Like, if you take a chessboard, this is a question that will make you think, like, where do I fit in the chessboard? Who am I? As part of all these, I don't know what you call them. The soldiers or the queen or whatever on the chessboard. Who am I? Like, that's a huge question to ask yourself. And the answer is also an answer that's going to be a very detailed answer. It's not going to be something like, okay, I want to be an astronaut. No. Or I want to be, a model. Or I want to be an influencer. Oh my God. Yeah. So this is not the kind of question I'm talking about. This is the kind of question that will make you understand really your purpose for being on this planet, for being part of this amazing setup, of this amazing, place, to say the least. So that's the second biggest question. Again, it's not such a big question, but the answer is really so broad that when you figure it out, it's again something that will make you think not just twice, like maybe 100 times before you decide how you want to move forward with your own life. Because now you know, now you understand, now you are more aware why you are here and what it is that you need to do while you are here. And I tell you, when I figured those answers for myself, my whole life changed. I'm here in front of you because I did those exercises. I'm here because I realized that this is why I'm here. This is why I'm here. I'm here to be of service, to support people in their own struggles, in their own life, from my own struggles and from my own life and from my own experience. This is what I realized. And that's why today this is what I'm doing. That's why today this is where I want to be focused. And the beauty of all of this is when you figure this out, when you understand why you are here or what is your mission and what's your purpose, you will become more focused. You will know exactly what to do, when to do it, where to do it, how to do it. Really, you will not need anyone to guide you. Just the part of you figuring things out for yourself and you still not aware, maybe that's the part where you need someone to guide you, where you need someone to, hold your hand. But the minute you become aware of that mission that you are on, you know why you will be the sole person who will be able to make things happen? Because you're the only one who knows how that mission should look like. You're the only one who knows what that mission is all about. You're the only one who knows what are the results that you need to reach because you are on this mission. But for you to reach that place where you actually know what that mission is, you want to relax. You want to take that time. You want to breathe. You want to ask yourself those questions. You want to meditate. You want to figure things out. And again, all of this, by the way, and I always say it and I always like to repeat it, because as you know, human beings have something that is very, very unique, and that is their free will. So no matter how many times I tell you how important this is, I will never be able to force you to do anything, not me and not anyone else. Because this is about you, this is about your free will, this is about you wanting to figure things out for who you are, for yourself. It's not about me, and it's not about anyone else outside of you. It is about you. You are the person that you want to know. You are the person that you want to be, and you are the person that you want to give yourself permission to become, if that makes sense. But that is something that you would want to choose, not something that I can impose on you or anyone else. And the funny thing is that when we are not aware, and when we are not, taking a break and figuring things out for ourselves and understanding and digging deeper to discover ourselves, what happens is that our lives are most of the time directly connected to everyone and everything around us, and we get affected by this and by that. And life becomes as if it's the result of everything around us, except the things that we actually want, except the reality that we want to live, because we don't know it, because we've never asked ourselves, because we've never stopped, we've never taken that break to figure things out for us, to understand where we want to be. And the last question is, why? Why do we want to be there? Why is it that I want to do this work? Why is it that I am on this mission? Like, once we find that mission and we figure it out, we want to know why. Because when we know why, then our determination becomes even higher, and we become really, really determined to be that person, to cross that line and really fulfill that purpose that we came here to be and to go through. So our why is understanding why we want to do this. Like, for me, why is it that I want to help people and support people with the things that I have struggled with? It's a very simple why. The question is also, again, the question is really very simple. But then when you ask it, for you to reach that answer, you're going to be digging again, and you're going to be asking yourself, and you're going to be thinking, this is why. But then you're going to be going like, no, maybe not. This is like a very shallow why. You want to go and think deeper and go into that deeper layer of understanding, like the real why. Is this the real why? Like, I could tell you I want to help people, because this is my mission in life. Okay, what does that even mean? A lot of people think that this is an answer. This is a why. Why? Because it's my mission in life. What do you mean it's your mission in life? Why is it your mission in life? You want to dig, you want to understand, okay, because, I used to suffer, or I was struggling. Okay, so why do you want to teach people the things that you know? Until you really reach that deepest why possible. And believe me, when you reach that why, you will know, because it's gonna be somehow emotional with a little bit of, you're gonna be kind of emotional in an overwhelming way, but also you're gonna be like happy because now you understand why you are doing this. Because, like, for me, why am I doing all of this? I am doing all of this because I really, really, really don't want anyone to ever live their life thinking that they are not worth it. I don't want anyone to ever live their life thinking that they are not loved, thinking that they are, just another number. I don't want anyone to ever think that they do not have the courage, that they do not have the confidence, that they do not have what it takes to become a great person on this earth. I do not want people to be thinking that somebody brought them to this life and just didn't want to have anything to do with them. I don't want people to feel that. I don't want anyone to feel that, because it's a very, very, very ugly and sad and difficult feeling to go through. And I don't want anyone to feel that. I don't want people to be stuck, because I was stuck for so many years. Even though, if you look at my life from the outside, you would think, what the hell is she talking about? Her stuck? Yes, I was stuck. But I was stuck with me. I was stuck inside of me. It wasn't something about my physical life or my physical appearance or my house or my car or my, friends or my work. It wasn't about that. It was all about me understanding my innermost, deepest darknesses. And I'm saying darknesses, so that I can rise and figure things out for myself and become the person who is really, for me, honestly, today, if I have no car, which I didn't have for a while, in fact, I wouldn't care. If I have no money, I really wouldn't care, because that was not my why. My why was very much deeper than that. And you will go through the same process when you start working on who you are, and you start asking those questions and want to understand why. Because once you know that, this is my mission in life, when you start asking the question, why is this my mission in life? Why is this my purpose? Why did I put myself in this place? Once you have those answers, this is where your journey starts. This is where the beautiful journey begins, because now you are aware, now you know, now you're not living in that doubt anymore. Now you're not living in that, how do you say it, darkness. I mean, I there's no other word. You're not living there anymore. Now you understand, and now you want to move forward, and you never want to look back. And this is the most important part of understanding who we are, and diving and realizing really who we are, and understanding, doing this inner discovery and going through those steps that will lead us to become that elevated person or that elevated energy, because now we know, now we understand. And the thing is, when you have those answers, you even understand why you've been through all of the things that you've been through in your life. Even that starts making sense to you the minute you figure it out, the minute you understand your why. And I can talk about this forever, because this is a very, very close topic to my heart, and it's something that I have been through. And the wonderful thing is, when you start learning about you, and then it expands to become you learning about everything else around you, when that journey starts, the most interesting part is that it doesn't stop. It's like every time you figure something out, you want to know more. Every time you understand something, you want to know, okay, I want to know the other side of this. And then, okay, I know this, but I'm pretty sure I have more to learn here, and I have more to learn here. And this becomes a journey of non-stop development, non-stop learning, non-stop becoming a better person, becoming a champion. But there's just one thing that I want also to remind you of. We are all champions. We all came to this plane as champions. It's just that when we were born, we kind of forgot. And then once we went through our lives, and with everything that was happening around us, and our awareness was not yet open, if I can use the term, everything kind of got suppressed, and layers and layers and layers of limitations became more in the focus of our lives. So we kind of forgot that we are actually, all of us, we are champions. We are divine creatures. We are amazing people. And we are all, for me at least, we are all like a how do I say it? We're all an image of the divine, and we are all divine as creatures. When we start digging to know more about us, this is the most important thing that we will realize. And this is the most important trait that we will find about us, that, oh my God, we have so much in us. We have a lot to give. We have a lot of love. We have a lot of compassion. We have a lot of grace, of gratitude, of honesty, of love, of every beautiful virtue out there. We have it. We just forgot. And for me, I'm on a mission to remind everyone. I put myself in that mission. I'm on a mission to remind people of their divinity, to remind every single one out there that they are champions. And that only them, or only they, can bring that champion out to the world. That champion is there. It's within us, within every single one of us. We just want to figure out how we let that champion rise and become, who we truly, truly are. And this is where my invitation to you is. This is where my invitation to you comes. My invitation to you is, if you know, and I'm sure you do, I'm sure you do, that you have it in you, you have something in you that you're just not able to point, not able to figure out, not able to see. This is where I come in. This is where I know I can help. Because I've been in your shoes and I have crossed that line and I have become that person. I have understood my mission. I have understood where I want to be, and I have understood why I'm here. And I want to help you do that. So today, this is my invitation to you. If you are in that place and you're really, I don't want to say struggling, but you're just not sure what to do or how to do things, let me know. Type champion in the comments below, and I will make sure I will reach out to you and we'll have a talk. I will see where you are, because I was you not too long ago, and I want to be able to guide you. I want to be able to help you. And if I manage to do that, and if I know I can do that, I will tell you exactly how working with me will look like. So if you are in that place, if you are in that situation, and you really want to dig deeper and understand more about you, just again, type champion in the comments below and let me know, and I will be so happy to reach out to you and take this conversation further. I hope I was able to add just a little bit of value to your day today, and just a little bit of, elevated information, I like to call it. And I hope that I was also able to guide you at least one way or another, even if just for the sake of you trying to start asking yourself these questions, even if you don't want to take it to the next level. But at least now you have some tools that you can use. So remember, if you need any support and you think that, a discussion with yours truly can help, just type in the comments below, just type champion, and I will make sure to reach out to you. And with that, as usual, I will see you next week, and I will say ciao, ciao.